but everyone around here in this room, we do phenomenal in our community as well. So I commend you on what you have done, but we're here fighting it. I'm here because of cronyism, and there's a lot of cronyism that's happening, and I want you to address some of those things, because this is what's actually affecting our community.
Well, let me address that. And I'll leave it where I was on the other and let that go. But let me address cronyism. You see, here's the complexity of my position in politics. In my position, what my job is to do, as chairman of the party, is elect capable, what I believe to be philosophically and shared value-driven Democrats to office. I'm supposed to find them, all right? I'm supposed to help them as best I can, and where we have the funding, I'm supposed to help fund them. Now, we don't always have the funding. A big part of the job is going out and raising the money, and that's what I do a lot of. I donate, but more than that, I raise a lot of the money. And the dilemma is there's always unhappiness, and there's always somebody who's unhappy. And when you talk about cronyism, I'm going to talk about what I'll consider harmful cronyism and what I'll consider, if you will, I wouldn't want to call it cronyism, but I don't tend to think of it as cronyism, but patronage, all right, which is a little different. And here's where I see the distinction, if you will. There are a lot of people who want a job. I can't tell you how many people call me and they want a job, all right? And I can't tell you the number of people who've had jobs. And, you know, I have two problems. I say to every person who's running for office, and I make this very clear, I will never ask you to hire somebody for a position that does not need to be filled. Right? That's different than my Republican counterpart, who when he's got Joe Smith he wants to get a job for, he calls up either Mangano or Venditto or Kate Murray, and he'll say, I need you to put so-and-so in the government. I don't care what they do, they got to make $46,000, and that's it. I don't have that. I don't do that. So I'll never ask somebody to hire somebody for a position that doesn't need to be filled. I'll never ask somebody to hire somebody for a position that does need to be filled who isn't qualified to fill it. All right? I tell them that. And the last piece is, if you hire somebody that I recommend and they don't do the job, then you fire them. Get somebody else who can do the job. That's my standard. Every elected official will tell you. When they meet with me, that is what I tell them. Yes, sir.
Van White. Now what if they do the job, but disagree with certain things? Do they can dismiss?
Well, again, once someone's in government, I don't make the decision. Once you're in government, as to who gets dismissed and who doesn't get dismissed. What I will do is this. It's rare that I will have somebody, and the Board of Elections is a place where I have more sway, frankly, than anywhere else. And the reason for that is under the state law, the Democratic chair and Republican chair in every county get to recommend for appointment. The legislature has to do it, but they do it. The commissioner. The commissioner makes those decisions. So, the way I look at it is this. Let's, put our cards on the table. Nobody gets their job at the Board of Elections through the New York Times.
True.
You're not answering a classified, and you're not generally coming to us and saying, I have this advanced PhD in electioneering, so here's my record, my resume. People get their jobs at the Board of Elections through recommendation or otherwise because they will commit to getting done what needs to be done to hold free and fair elections and do their piece. And that's what we look for. And there are sometimes, I'm sure, people that get hired there that don't work out. Now you say agree or disagree. Well, in any organization, I don't care where you are, private business or otherwise, in any organization, if you're working at that organization and you disagree with how the organization is going, it's incumbent upon you to either do it in that fashion or leave. If it's a criminal act they're asking you to do, you complain about it. But you don't have the luxury of every individual choosing to set the rules, the standards, and the policies that they choose to work
So
with.
how we,
But, one second, so January 6, 2011, at 3:38, my demise at the Board of Election. To my knowledge, never been called on anything else. Like you said, I know the politics, but never told the reason why I was let go. So this is what people get feeling right here, how if you don't follow in step, I'm still a Democrat, I ain't switched parties, I'm not independent, I'm still a Democrat. Just happen to be, out of 10 elections, disagree with one election. Like I said, a free Democratic Party. We should be able to decide to, my choice was decide to run for office because the party was not happy with the person in office. I even got them a candidate, another candidate to run. They told me to get a resume, got the resume, perfect person, and guess what? They changed their minds. The party changed their mind. I'm not sure if you got it, but when I gave it to the people underneath you, oh, we need this person to get out. They changed their mind, the person don't want to run, so I decided to do it. I admit it, gave him 3 months on before you decide to